Lesson 3.2 Operating Systems, and I want you to look at your phone or laptop right now. Without an operating system, your CPU is just silicon. Your RAM is just plastic. Your screen is just glass. The OS is what makes it all work together. 3 things to understand: what it is, what it does, the 5 core functions, and the different types you'll find in the real world. Let's start with the definition. Here are the 5 functions every OS performs, and Final Exams has tested all 5. Process management decides which programs run and for how long, scheduling CPU time. Memory management allocates RAM to active programs and reclaims it when they close. File management organizes your data into files and folders, handling permissions. Device management communicates with hardware through drivers, your keyboard, mouse, printer. Security management controls access through logins, permissions, and firewalls. 5 functions. Say them with me: process, memory, file, device, security. Learn them as a set, not individually. Not every OS is built the same way. The environment determines the design. 4 types. Desktop OS built for personal computers. Full GUI multitasking. Windows, macOS, Ubuntu. Mobile OS built for touchscreens, optimized for battery life. Android, iOS. Server OS manages network resources and hosts websites, prioritizes stability over appearance. Ubuntu Server, Windows Server. An embedded OS runs inside dedicated hardware for one single purpose. Smart TVs, ATMs, routers, medical devices. 4 environments. 4 different designs, all doing the same 5 core jobs underneath. Let's compare the 5 OS platforms you need to know by name. Windows, made by Microsoft, proprietary, licensed, dominant in business and gaming. Mac OS, made by Apple, proprietary, tied to Apple hardware, popular with creatives. Linux, community-built, open source and free, the most customizable, dominant on servers. Android, made by Google, partially open source, over 85% of Ghana's smartphones run it. And iOS, made by Apple, fully proprietary, locked to iPhones. Notice the pattern on screen. Linux is the only one that is both open source and free. Windows and Mac OS require a paid license. Out of the 5 functions, 2 get swapped constantly in exam answers: process management and memory management. Look at the screen. Process management is about CPU time, which programs get to run and for how long. Think scheduling. Memory management is about RAM space, which programs get memory allocated to them. Think allocation. Here's the trick to remember it. If the question mentions the CPU or running programs, it's process management. If the question mentions RAM or memory space, it's memory management. 2 different resources, 2 different functions. Never mix them up. Let's bring this home. The operating system's actually running Ghana's digital life right now. Android, the clear market leader on mobile. It's what powers your mobile money apps, your banking apps, WhatsApp business. Over 85% of Ghana's internet traffic passes through an Android device. Linux, invisible but everywhere, running web servers, fintech infrastructure, and university computing labs across the country. And Windows, still the standard in senior high school computer labs, cyber cafes, and corporate offices. 3 operating systems, 1 country, all working at the same time right now all across Ghana. Quick check, and this tests exactly what we just covered in the exam trap. Which OS function is responsible for allocating RAM to running programs and reclaiming it when those programs close? A. Process management. B. Memory management. C. File management. D. Device management. The answer is B. Memory management. RAM allocation is memory. CPU scheduling is process. If you got that right, you've locked in the trickiest function pair in this lesson. See you in Lesson 3.3, GUI versus CLI.